dashcraft video. Now this is going to be a little bit of an off series where I'm not going to be talking about just building and creating maps. So there I think will be three main playlists on my channel. There will just be my casual, just playing maps, maybe building a map. There's going to be some build challenges, there's going to be a challenge section, and this is just more of my other types of videos, let's say. So this one is actually going to be something that if you want to play dashcraft, you're going to have to understand. And it is about the verified section. Now, some people wonder, how do maps get verified? That is a very good question. And if you look here, people do say here that this window contains all the public tracks submitted by other players. Now, look what it says about verified tracks here. You can also filter only verified tracks, which are high quality tracks picked by our moderators. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I was a track tester for some of these maps, and I will tell you something. There are some really good maps that are picked out for us. For example, there are some maps on this list which I think absolutely deserve to be verified. For example, let's go into this one, and you might be like, what? Well, the thing is, look at the, first of all, I'm 100. Second of all, notice, this is a very different style of track. Like, look at the structure of it. Now, I know that might sound really silly, but in order to get a verified map, it doesn't just have to be the play and the feel of the track needs to be intuitive. It also needs to base a new topic. This is a very, very good example. So there was a not a bug, but more of a gimmick found, where if you just kept on lining up boosters, they would just give you like a float. They give you like a little float to your car. So this entire map is just based around that. And yeah, it got verified because nobody has done it before, right? Nobody in any of these maps have done it, as far as I know. You've got some maps over here. Mostly collab maps also do get verified because it is a very, very monumental thing to get multiple builders in one project and then actually building a very good map. Like for example, two collabs here. Over here, this is just a multi map. So enough of my yapping. Now let's talk about how verified players make their maps so good. And for here, I am going to use a little preview. And what I'm just going to do, I'm not going to build the most fancy. I'm just going to build a map that feels at least intuitive to draw. So I'm gonna real quick cook on this. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments if you do like these new type series like videos. If you want more of them, I can do more of them because I know a lot about dashcraft. Yeah. So I'm nearly done. I'm just gonna build this final section. Okay, this is very basic now. Now, my purpose here is not to prove to you that this can get verified. I'm just going to show you the techniques that verified players use, verified track creators use to build awesome maps. So this actually feels very intuitive to drive, very nice. However, you will argue that this is a very plain track, like it doesn't really have any sort of like elements. Now, one thing you can add is just checkpoints. I know that might sound very weird, but actually adding checkpoints kind of allow, I mean this is gonna sound really weird, but it sort of allows the map to have a natural flow to it. See, by placing checkpoints at key points, it won't just feel like the map is just one entire thing, right? Like you've got 2 checkpoints here and now you've finished. Easy, right? So one of the ways verified track builders make them is by adding checkpoints. This has a twofold benefit. First of all, that is literally one of the criteria. Yeah, it is one of the criteria to actually allow checkpoints because, of course, they allow you to save your progress. And 2, it just makes the map a little bit nicer to play because then you aren't respawning like 20 seconds before the end. So it's pretty good building technique. 2, add scenery. Seriously, this is a technique I use, which I like to just call random scattering. And I'm not just placing this in random spots. Like, yes, I am placing them not in like lines and stuff. But the thing is notice I'm building it around the track. Also, some of them are actually inside the track, just to give like a little bit of a forest feel. So this map is gonna be a little bit forest feel. And let me just real quick add pause. I'm placing them in like very intentional spots. So like again at the start here, because you wanna of course like with the ball, but I'm not adding the middle because that's where you use a jump. So immediately when we play this, look at how much more nicer the map is. Look. It looks much more nice to look at. It's less bland. It just looks very nice. But this is where 90% of builders completely fail. They think that this is already good enough, which I will agree, it looks very good. There is one thing. You need to add different elements into this. Let's think about the start here. This start has a turn followed by a curve and then immediately into a jump. Okay. What if instead of here we sort of move this one block? What if we move everything just a little one block? And we add just this. And now you have to jump slightly higher. Okay, now let's see how it feels. Okay? So we've got the start, a little snake here, and wait a minute. Instead of now making the map really slow, look at how much more speed we have for this jump. I know, we are focusing on such small elements, but in order to get a verified map, it is you need to put in the effort. So you need to know how like the speed matters. So immediately, I would say that's an improvement, not a major improvement, but a minor improvement that's going to add up. And now I'm just gonna be like, okay, can I add anything here? Sorry, I like a little cold. And now I'm immediately thinking, wait, what if I add like maybe a sign here to show players that you're going to the right? But then now you're wondering, okay, wait, you have too many signs here. So here, I'm going to delete a sign, and I'm actually going to replace it with a horizontal shape. Now let's see again how it plays out. Okay, so that is actually better. And look, the arrow is genuinely helping you to just realign back on course. So now I'm wondering, what's this next part? Yes, we have a curve, but come on, it's a little bit boring, I will say, to just have complete straight smooth curves. What you really need to do is you need to be asking yourself, can I make this section a little bit more fun to play, a little less like so I don't know, really a little less basic to play, right? So here, maybe again, what you can do is you can just experiment with this level, right? So that bit goes down. So here's my question. Can we do this? Does that work? I would say the answer is yes, because if I go back onto this map, look at this. Starts like bonus, we got a jump here. Look at this, and look at the end. Just a smooth curve which wraps nicely into the finish. And now it's really up to you. I don't really have a lot other to say, but just use your own intuition. Because if a map feels just a little bit too finicky to play, just don't publish it. If you want it to be verified, like, and I know that is a very big, tall order, but yes, people want some maps to be verified, genuinely. So, anyways, those are all my tips, really. Those are really all my tips on trying to build a verified map, and also how verified track builders make their maps so much more better to play. See, like even there, I had like a little cross point there. But yeah, guys, again, as with all my maps, you can just play them. You can just play them. So let me real quick just move back. And that is it. This is verified tips and tricks. And yeah, guys, anyways, see you guys in the next video. Stay fun and peace out, I guess. I don't know, bye.